Hi, I'm Hunter Schafer.
She may have stolen our hearts with her performance on HBO's Euphoria, but Hunter Schafer was making a name for herself before she gave us the character Jules Vaughn. A bit about Hunter. While filming Euphoria, Hunter settled herself in LA, but originally she was born in Trenton, New Jersey. And from there, she's kind of been everywhere. Being the daughter of a pastor, she and her family moved between churches in New Jersey and Arizona before settling in North Carolina. She's also the oldest of 4 kids in her family, and as you may have guessed from her social media posts, she's quite the artist, and has been for some time.
I've always used art as a way to process the world around me.
She even attended North Carolina School of the Arts and graduated from their high school visual arts program. It seems that this famed actress just has a love of creating things from scratch, and we love seeing it. New York state of mind. In 2017, after graduating from the prestigious art school she attended, she decided to move to New York to pursue her fashion model dreams. While making it in any aspect of the entertainment industry can be difficult, Hunter definitely found success. And it seemed like a lot of it. She was working full-time and got to really showcase her talent by modeling for brands like Prada, Mugler, Dior, Coach, Versace, and a ton more. Long story short, the girl was booked and busy in the early days of her career. And before being cast in her role in Euphoria, she originally wanted to take her career in fashion to another level. Dreams of fashion design. As you can probably imagine from a young and talented artist, Hunter had dreams of being a fashion designer, which she may be pursuing now had she not gotten cast in a major HBO series. Being exposed to so many designers and fashion icons at an early age, it completely makes sense that the fashion world is something she'd want to engulf herself in.
I wanted to be a fashion designer. Still do, at some point. That'd be cool.
During a 2021 interview with W Magazine, Hunter talked about her possible future in fashion design. She stated, "It's still something I think about a lot. Returning to honing in on designing or something within fashion is an activity I would absolutely love to be engaged with at some point. There's no plan necessarily, but it's always on my mind." Audition day. Between her days of graduating high school and becoming an actress, Hunter initially planned on attending Central St. Martin's, an art school in London. But that plan came to a halt when she saw that they were holding auditions for a role that called for a young trans woman. Hunter's mentioned over the past few years that she's always had an interest in acting, but never fully pursued it.
I had had some interest in acting, but never really given it a shot or actually tried.
But when the opportunity for Euphoria came knocking at her door, she didn't hesitate to go for it.
Yeah, I got the sides, I went in.
And as surprising as it may be, seeing as how well her first performance has gone, this was her very first acting gig. But she easily could have fooled us all. From filming to family. It's safe to assume that when you've been steadily building a career in one industry, and then you're thrown into another industry, it can be a little overwhelming. But Hunter did a great job handling everything. And a lot of that could be due to the genuine friendship and trust she had in the cast and crew. She's mentioned multiple times that there hasn't been any distrust or drama between anyone in the cast. We don't see Hunter as someone who would completely put someone on blast in an unprofessional way during an interview anyway, but it seems like she's developed great relationships with her castmates on set. Hunter's acting evolution. A lot of actors in Hollywood are cast in smaller roles and are gradually cast in bigger projects. But this isn't the case for everyone, and it definitely wasn't the case for Hunter. Seeing as how this was her very first acting job, she's been open about experiencing imposter syndrome when they first started filming.
I think I was really nervous about being able to deliver, and I don't know, I still had some imposter syndrome at this point as far as
But over the course of the show, she's really started to hone in on her skills. In a phone interview with Harper's Bazaar, Zendaya talked about her experience watching Hunter grow as an actress, specifically during one of the specials that aired. She stated, "I remember watching behind the camera and knowing that something had clicked. She just took whatever pain she had and she translated it into such a beautiful performance." Life in the spotlight. While Hunter seems to have a deep sense of self and is figuring out who she is and staying true to that, it'd be a little naive to think that her newfound fame from Euphoria hasn't contributed to her life in any way. She was already making a name for herself in the fashion world, but acting in a show in a major network like HBO has its perks. She's currently sitting at 4.5 million Instagram followers, and between acting, modeling, and brand endorsements, her net worth is estimated to be around 1 million. Hunter's influence on Jules. The cast of Euphoria have openly praised the show's writer and creator, Sam Levinson, and for good reason. He actively worked closely with Hunter, having her stay in LA and spending hours collaborating in a coffee shop to make sure her character was getting the representation and authenticity she deserved. While trans representation in film and television is growing, there are a lot of projects that portray trans people in a narrow perspective. Sam and Hunter wanted to make sure that didn't happen with Euphoria. According to an interview with Hunter on the Build series YouTube channel, Sam wrote himself into many of the characters, but wanted to make sure the characters were also personal to the cast. As a result, Hunter's real lived experiences and perspectives helped to create the character Jules.
Figuring out how some of my story can fit in as well, and so that we can really flesh her out, and that's what ended up happening.
Euphoria's takeaway. Euphoria can be an intense show, to say the least, and most people who watch the show are going to leave it feeling some type of way about the plot or the characters. And that's kind of what Hunter goes for. When Entertainment Weekly asked her what she would like her audience to take away from the series, she responded, "Watch the whole season. Let yourself find love for these characters who are going through a lot, or hate them. I want them to stick through it and witness a transformation and, in my opinion, a beautiful, tragic story." Finding herself during a pandemic. The first season of Euphoria went off without a hitch, but due to the pandemic, filming for season 2 was delayed. This made it difficult for tons of networks who were about to or had already started filming. And it was also an adjustment for many actors. But Hunter made the most of her time alone. She bought a pickup truck and went on a one-woman road trip from LA all the way to her sister's house in North Carolina. In a Zoom call interview with Allure, she literally drew out what her experience was like on her road trip. In a 2020 interview, she also told Allure what she felt like her focus was in life at the time and beautifully stated, "That's been the project of my life, just trying to feel seen and learn how to see others correctly." Actress, activist, icon. Hunter hasn't been one to shy away from using her platforms to talk about social issues that affect marginalized communities, and we love that for her. But her days of activism started long before she had millions of Instagram followers. When she was 17, she joined as a plaintiff in the well-known ACLU case, with the goal of overthrowing North Carolina's HB2 bathroom bill. Essentially, this bill would require North Carolina citizens to use the bathrooms assigned to them at birth. She's also spoken up to bring awareness to organizations like Black Lives Matter, the Marsha P. Johnson Institute, and the Black Trans Lives Matter Youth Fund. Once an artist, always an artist. While she may be busy acting and modeling, Hunter has always been an artist at heart, though you could probably argue that both acting and modeling are forms of art in one way or another. Hunter has a love for creating that seems to be essential to her expression as a whole. She told Allure in 2020, "I always wanted to be an artist. When you think about it, my work has this common thread of creating the identity of a person. Even when I was trying to make comic books, the characters were my favorite part to make." Hunter, the screenwriter. Of course, Hunter couldn't just have been a triple threat. Next to model, actress, and artist, she can also add the title of screenwriter to her already extensive resume. Along with Sam Levinson, she co-wrote the Euphoria Special Part 2 episode that focused on her character, Jules. And even though it was a new experience for her, she described it as being cathartic and something she'd like to do more of in the future. In an interview with Awards Focus, she stated, "Creating this episode from literally writing it over the phone with Sam to sitting and editing and production and post-production, that was the most cathartic, most artistic experience I've had. As someone who loves making art, I want to keep making art that gets me that same feeling." Hunter and Z. There's a beautiful and complex relationship between Hunter's character Jules and co-star Zendaya characters Rue. And we see plenty of this on screen, but Hunter and Zendaya, who she adorably refers to as Z, have a close friendship off-screen as well. When Entertainment Weekly asked her about her relationship with Zendaya, she responded, "We met after it had been cast, and I think we got really lucky because we both love each other a lot. We feel like family, and that makes it like the best work environment. It's amazing." So, what's next? At such a young age, it may feel like Hunter's had a pretty established career between acting and modeling gigs, but she's actually just getting started. In the summer of 2021, Out magazine, as well as Hunter via Instagram, announced that she would be starring in her first film role, Cuckoo. The upcoming horror film is currently still in pre-production, and details about the plot and characters haven't been released yet. However, the film is a follow-up to director Tillman Singer's 2018 horror film, Lose. But to be completely honest, fans don't even need to know much about the film because after seeing her performance in Euphoria, we've got good feelings about her new project as well. She's 23 years old and is already starting to be a household name, so calling her a hard worker would kind of be an understatement. But we love seeing Hunter share her art with the world and encouraging others to do the same. To see more videos like this one, or to hear more about your favorite Hollywood stars, be sure to subscribe to The Things Celebrity.